Hey everybody, it's your old buddy Bill, and times have been good for old Bill lately. I've got a sweet new gig down outside the 7-Eleven. I just sling this sign around 12 hours a day for about, pulls in some pretty good bread in my opinion, and I'm here to tell you that you're about to hear some pretty explicit words on this podcast, and if you go back and listen to older episodes, you might hear a few things here and there, maybe about me, maybe about other things, and I just want to let everybody know that they're pretty much not true. I've checked, I've listened to them, I've checked my bank records, I've checked my journals, and I have no memory of any of this stuff happening. To quote the great philosopher Ronald Reagan, I don't recall. I just don't recall it. And so it'd be really cool if you actually didn't listen at all. Because I don't want to get back to Mr. 11, where I work, or Mrs. 11. Okay, I haven't checked. Could be both, could be neither. Who knows? So, anyway, you got it.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the latest and greatest installment of Go Folk Yourself podcast, an American podcast, brought to you live from the internet here in sunny Orlando, Florida. We're coming back to a state tonight, baby. That's right. We hadn't done one of those in a while because we fucked up some audio.
Wait a minute. You mean to tell us this is not just about Sabrina or various other things?
This is the state of Sabrina Spellman. Whoa! No, I'm kidding. It's the actual state.
Dan just had a heart attack and is...
Oh,
God.
Oh, no. I've caught myself the vapors. That's Dan.
Brett's dead-on Dan impression.
Southern debutante Dan.
That's Southern Belle
Dan the Bell.
Yeah.
So
that's his wrestling. Dan the Bell Baron in the octagon.
By God, Dan's grabbed the chair. It's a slobberknocker. As God is my witness. Yeah.
Wow, you went really biblical for your wrestling.
Well, I like when they say things like that when they're like,
"Oh my God, he's got a steel chair!"
Sweet Moses,
I haven't seen a death like this since the flood.
Wow. That's like Doomsday Preacher. Is it the SmackDown event?
We go really,
So as you guys can hear, tonight you've got Brett on the mic along with Nick and Ethan.
Hey,
there we go.
I interrupted Nick.
We both went with it. Hey.
Hi. Hello.
Welcome. So yeah, you've got the fucking Rockstar team tonight.
Boom.
This podcast brought to you by Rockstar Energy Drinks.
Ride the wave.
Ride the wave. Feel the guarana. We're here to talk to you tonight about the fucking wildest state in the union that's shaped like a mitten, and that is, of course,
Minnesota.
Michigan.
Wait. Michigan.
Yeah.
No.
Michigan.
I thought it was Minnesota.
Oh. I really got to stop abbreviating these things.
Yeah, man.
Oh, shit. I'm sorry, guys.
That's okay.
Oh, man. I think we already did Minnesota. We'll just play that episode again.
Yeah. If you
And
liked Minnesota, then stay tuned.
for Minnesota, part 2.
Minnesota
Redux. If we could do 4 hours of content on Sabrina Spellman, we can do 4 hours on Minnesota.
We can milk something out of Minnesota.
Surely.
But this episode is about the great mitten of the North, Michigan. That's right, motherfuckers. We're going to see some Great Lakes tonight.
Yeah.
This is going to be some great content. I hope you guys know, if you guys live in Minnesota, you've got some wild shit going on in your state.
Wait, Minnesota or Michigan?
Oh, I'm sorry. If you guys live, let me rewind
This
that.
is just like Atlantis all over again.
You fucking put it in my head,
Yeah.
Minnesota.
I mean, they do. What you said is true.
The state of Michigan has some amazing shit in its own backyard.
Wow.
It also has the largest freshwater shoreline in the world.
Oh, so we're just
Oh, we're just going right
we're
into
just
the
jumping
fucking
right.
fun,
Okay.
Raw dog and the raw facts.
raw dog
Fun
and the fun facts immediately.
You just
So they have more shoreline than us.
More freshwater shoreline.
Oh, that's
Florida
the-
has the most saltwater shoreline.
Nobody wants
Which-
freshwater
yeah.
shoreline. That's
Have
bullshit.
you ever swam in freshwater that's not a swamp in Florida?
No.
It's actually really, really pleasant.
Is it?
wow.
Oh, yeah.
What about all the leeches and snakes?
Not a thing.
What
It's
about
Michigan? It's
well,
just
okay.
runoff from the car factories.
What about the alligators?
Not a thing. You just get
What?
Canadian gators.
Ah, okay.
Canadian
And it's really
gators.
just really polite people going, maple candy.
I love maple
I do
candy.
too.
Has anyone been to Michigan?
I've never been to Michigan.
I've not, but I have a good chunk of family that lives there.
That's funny you should say that. I've never been to Michigan, but I went to Chicago one time to a conference,
Close enough?
and it's like right there. No, there were a shitload of people from Michigan at the conference,
Weird.
and they're the nicest people, and they do that fucking hand thing. You know what I'm saying?
What's that?
Where
I'm from Michigan. If this is the mitten, I'm
I'm from right there, and
You know,
it's like
whenever I try to explain where I live in Florida and I drop my pants to show my penis, it's always
get upset.
It's upsetting to people.
But
I'm
these-
like,
Right
I'm
here,
from right here in
mid-shaft.
mid shaft on the penis.
these damn Michigans can just hold up their mittens and be like, I'm from right here.
That's so much more convenient.
It really is.
It is.
I don't have to take off my belt.
I know. It's like I'm at the TSA line.
And it's interesting because with Michigan, they have that whole other part.
What
the
other part?
You know, the twofer, right? Am I looking at this map right?
There's the part that's like the splash off of Canada.
Oh, yeah. There's the Upper Peninsula area. They've got two of them from what
They
I've
have
seen.
two. Yeah, I'm looking at a map as we.
Well,
Folks,
so the Upper Peninsula is this part, and then you
Uh-huh.
have this thing over here.
Ah,
And,
okay.
you know, this
Nick
works
is
really
doing a
well
hand
for
motion.
this radio broadcast.
Nice hand gesture.
Thanks.
so everyone grab your maps. If you look at Michigan.
If you type in Michigan,
Unfurl your atlas.
Yep. Take a gander at old Michigan. You'll see a second part up by which lake, Nick?
up by all of them.
Up-
Because, if we're honest, Michigan borders 4 of the 5 Great Lakes.
Wow.
Wow.
Which is the 5th one that they don't border?
I want to say Superior.
Lake Superior is the one.
What? Lake
That's the New
Superior
York
is
one.
right there, right?
Oh,
Wait, what
I
the
don't
hell
know
are
if
you
that
guys
part's
talking
part of Michigan or not.
No, Ontario.
Lake Ontario. That's
There we
right.
go. Oh, yeah,
First
that makes
try,
sense.
Nick got it. 10
Bam.
points to Nick.
Fucking
90% of the time, I get it right all the time.
fucking killed it. Where's Lake Ontario?
Lake Ontario, if you'll scroll, everyone look at your map.
Okay.
Keep
Look
going
over at New
to the
York.
east.
All right.
Oh, okay.
Find
Lake
Ottawa.
Okay, Lake
Everyone's-
Ontario touches New York.
Sure does.
Okay.
Nick would know that.
Because Ontario touches New York in
That's
a very
right.
intimate way.
Oh, nice. What else you got about old Michigan?
Well, Michigan is responsible for a whole lot of good and a whole lot of bad.
Let's
We'll
start
start
with
this.
Let's
It's
hit
gonna
me
be
with
both.
hit me with the good. What's a good thing?
You wake up in the morning. It's
Mm-hmm.
nice and early. You're not looking for a big breakfast.
So far,
Am
I
I
hate,
feeling like P Diddy?
so
you
far
are
I hate
feeling
this.
like P. Diddy.
Nice.
You want a nice breakfast, something's going to keep you full for a bit,
Yeah.
but not too heavy. Maybe
Okay.
something that's got a little good for your cholesterols.
Okay.
What are you cracking into?
Eggs.
Nope.
Nice.
A box of cornflakes
Oh.
What?
in Battle Creek, Michigan.
Wow,
Oh shit!
Battle
Oh, there we go.
Creek!
What did
So-
they invent cornflakes
They
there?
did. So Dr. John
Fucking
Harvey
nerds.
Kellogg
What?
opened the Battle Creek Sanitarium in the 1800s.
Any relation?
Like for tuberculosis.
Creek
for
Sanitarium.
mostly for dietary reasons and also to get people to stop touching themselves.
Oh, a no masturbation zone.
No
That's
masturbation
and it
station.
didn't
good. That'll
work.
make you go blind, from what I.
Exactly. Your
That's
palms
right.
are going to be so hairy you can't grip your cereal bowl.
Palms
Oh.
are hairy. Mom spaghetti.
Throw out mom spaghetti because you're eating cornflakes today, bitches.
That's Kellogg's first phrase, I think.
That's
Yeah.
exactly what was on the box.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that he opened a sanatorium.
He did. He basically was like, well, people are having a lot of digestive issues.
Right.
Mostly because they're eating rancid meat and garbage because, you know, there's no refrigeration.
19th century. Got it.
Ah.
So
The hot cuisine of the 19th
yes,
century.
a nice hot dish is fine for you, but when you're looking for a wholesome breakfast, crack into a box of John Harvey Kellogg's.
Of unsweetened corn.
Unsweetened corn flakes.
dried corn.
It's like oat oatmeal, but cold and unsweetened and
It's
not
funny you
salty.
say that. That was
But
actually
shitty.
the selling point.
What?
So everybody was
Cold
like, if
oatmeal.
people were going to have breakfast, like if they wanted oatmeal, like it's going to take you a long time.
Right.
Because as we learned during the oft-mentioned movie,
My Cousin Vinny, yep.
it takes a long time to put water into a grit or an oat.
Right.
That's true.
So
That
they're
is
like,
true.
I just want a way I can crack into some breakfast and
just
get my
bust it
asshole
open.
kids their food and get them out to school where they're going to learn about how the earth is flat and Jesus made the dinosaurs.
That's right. Yeah.
Fantastic. I
That's
had no
the
idea.
second slogan for Kellogg.
Yes, Jesus made the dinosaurs.
Yeah, the earth is
Cornflakes.
flat like a cornflake. I'm Dr. John H. Kellogg, and I approve this message. Quit fucking jerking off.
Quit fucking jerking off.
Quit jerking it. We need to discover stuff.
Yeah. Cornflakes.
Every minute you spend jerking off is less scientific discovery for the rest of us.
So, given that they invented cornflakes, arguably one of the most impressive and, notable
Bland.
cereals ever.
Bland for breakfast cereal.
But the vehicle for later Frosted Flakes.
That's true.
One of the most delicious cereals.
Truly,
That's true.
Renee.
That
Yeah.
fucking tiger really knew what he was doing.
Tony.
So,
He has a
yes.
name.
Frosting
Anthony the Tiger.
Anthony Tiger.
Anthony T. Tiger.
Yeah.
The T is for
They're,
the.
they're cereal.
They're good.
So Michigan brought us Kellogg's, they brought us Post, literally all of the major players in the cereal industry.
Wild.
Now that you know that, what do you think their state beverage is?
Milk. Motherfucking milk.
Nope.
What?
Whoa! How did the milk
What?
lobby not get to Michigan here?
What?
That
For
sells itself.
For once, we found a Midwest state who does not have milk, but it's actually Vernor's Ginger Ale.
Oh, that stuff's delicious.
It really is.
I had some ginger ale last night.
Have you ever had Vernor's?
Oh, yeah.
It's better than Schweppes.
It is.
The number one competitor to Vernor's.
Yeah, this
Beats the
episode.
shit out of Schweppes.
Yeah. Fuck you,
This episode
Schweppes.
not brought to you by Schweppes.
Yeah.
Fuck Schweppes.
Fuck Schweppes.
Rockstar.
Rockstar
Feel the
Energy.
surge.
Feel the
Smell the
surge.
guarana.
Drink Vernor.
Rockstar Energy. It's redneck coffee.
Wow. That's crazy. You think it would be milk, but I am
This is the
pleasantly
one state
surprised.
I'm pleasantly surprised, but it's a one state I'm a little disappointed in.
I was really
It should
hoping
be
it would be
milk.
milk.
Yeah, with all the cereal, like they're just pouring Vernors into their cornflakes to eke out a little bit of flavor.
You know,
Sounds fucking vile.
I would not be surprised if they did that.
Could you imagine pouring that onto a bowl of cornflakes and hearing it just pop with
Sizzle.
carbonation?
It burns so good.
Yum.
Oh,
nice,
wow.
nice ginger on my cornflakes.
You know what these cornflakes needed?
You know what?
Ginger soda.
Ginger soda. Oh, Pappy, grab the Vernors.
My grandfather used to like to pour sugar on his cornflakes. If he knew he could just pour a nice cold Vernor's ginger ale over it, boy, he would have been happier.
Wow.
Oh God.
What other terrible fun facts did you dredge up
So
for this place?
the state food is the cherry, not the cereal. Again, a miss.
Wow.
Oh, man. But they do have cherry festivals up there.
They
I am
do.
familiar with that part.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
I
they're
didn't know that.
actually
Yeah.
quite beautiful. Like if you just type in Michigan Cherry Blossom Festival, you will not be disappointed.
Yeah.
Nice.
No longer do you need to go to Osaka, Japan to experience this.
Did you know that Dan's been there?
I think Dan's been there, yeah.
Did you? Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, that's crazy, right?
That's an oldie.
I know.
That's a
It's a good throwback.
Deep cut.
yeah. For those of you longtime listeners, the dozens of you.
The dozen
of you.
dozen.
The dozens of the bleach.
The ever dwindling fan base.
I've been meaning. You know what? No, we'll talk about that after the episode.
That's fine. That's fine.
So we also have a lot of Fords. So you have Henry, noted
Love
Nazi
Henry Ford.
sympathizer.
Oh wait, never
And
mind.
Also
No
Gerald, noted Nixon replacer.
Who I once confused with noted Nazi
Wow.
Henry Ford. And then Dan K yelled at me about
It's
Sounds about right.
it's amazing that the Ford company has been able to skirt right past that.
Skirt, skirt.
They're
Yeah.
like, nope.
they went from like
Look, we gave you a Model T for $300.
And then we
but
weren't.
no Jews.
No.
And then
Went-
square into we now make trucks.
Yeah.
Jews are cool.
Jews are fine with us
Exactly.
now. What you
Hey,
guys doing?
we've got accountants.
In the 30s and 40s, we did nothing. Don't check.
Okay, just ignore that.
And then in the 50s,
Don't go in the history museum of Henry Ford with his Iron Cross from Hitler.
Fuck.
There's a lot of good that came out of Michigan, too, though. We got Magic Johnson.
I thought you. a lot of good came out of the Nazis and
lot of
Henry
good came out of the
Ford.
I
Nazis.
thought that was a weird segue
Yeah.
myself.
Anyway, Magic Johnson.
Magic Johnson,
Johnson with
famed
his-
NBA
Yep.
player.
We got Charles Lindbergh sailed his way right out of there.
Wow, the baby loser.
Didn't
Yep.
where did I put that thing?
It was gone.
Wasn't he a Nazi?
He may have been.
Nobody knows. Can't find
Maybe
him.
he was just an anti-Semite.
Maybe. I don't know. It was a different time period, but probably I just assume everybody was.
That's the awkward part about the Nazis.
Oh, that's the awkward part.
Yeah, that's the awkward
in
part,
addition
pal.
to the many other things. But people are like, and then Germany just suddenly hated Jews. And it's like, well,
Well, you know, that goes all the way back to medieval
Yeah.
times.
yeah, a
People
lot
were
of people.
Heck,
extra fucked up.
couple
and then
millennia.
continued being fucked up for
Right.
hundreds of years.
Yeah, but that's a special Patreon episode. A history of anti-Semitism.
Coming
That would
up
probably be
on a
very
special
interesting.
episode.
You know, from a historical perspective, it would be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
Right, Nick?
So Kid Rock is also from Michigan.
Kid Rock?
Noted
Wow.
other Nazi sympathizer.
That southern gentleman?
The guy who redid that Leonard
Sweet
Skinner
Home,
stuff.
Alabama.
Yeah.
He's from Michigan.
He sure is.
What the fuck is he singing about Alabama for?
grief.
He knows his market really, really well.
White
he just
trash
go to-
knows no region. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
fair.
That's
Yeah.
very true.
You know what? That's one thing I don't like.
People
Kid Rock.
Kid Rock,
There's one thing I hate in this conversation about Nazis. It's Kid Rock.
the Guy Fieri of
guy.
music.
Though Guy Fieri has redeeming qualities, Kid Rock, I can't
You know,
think of any.
Guy Fieri seems like someone who loves his job.
Yeah.
And I love that about him.
Yes, I also love that. When he was on Hot Wings, he seemed totally, or Hot Ones.
He was
the
on Hot Ones?
He was,
I'm
yeah.
trying to contain myself, but
This
I fucking
episode-
love that show.
This episode brought to you by Hot Ones, maybe. I don't know.
Eat a chicken wing.
Yeah. When he was on it, he seemed blissfully unaware of his, internet fame.
I think he's started to understand, and probably after that, because
Yeah.
if you follow him on Instagram, which I do and recommend, he has leaned very, very hard into the meme culture,
Good
including
for
the
him.
ones about himself.
Oh,
Good for
good.
him.
And it's
Well,
really funny.
good. Nice.
Nice.
What else? Is Guy Fieri from Michigan?
He is not from Michigan. He's
Oh.
probably from Huntington Beach, California, if I had to take a guess.
Well, I was very specific.
Wow.
Like, he exudes it.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
He's from the same place where flame, button-down shirts are from.
Wherever
Nice.
those are made,
Yeah.
he'll be there. Wherever there are flavor
Twinkle
towns.
in their eye.
Anybody else cool from Michigan?
Madonna and, of course, everybody's daddy, Burt Reynolds.
Oh,
Wow.
hell yes, Zaddy.
Burt Reynolds is
Yeah.
from Michigan? He's
Yeah.
also a southern.
Southern fella.
He went to FSU. How did he?
Ew.
I mean, you can go to another school and be
Oh,
from a
that's
different
right.
state.
This is where either just learn there are travel students.
Wait a second.
There's
what?
it's called out-of-state tuition,
Oh, that's
which
right.
probably didn't exist back then.
No.
for him to basically
Or they
get a
did,
free
and it was like,
education.
well, for in-state tuition, it's $1, but
For
we're going to
out-of-state.
charge you a little more.
We're going to charge you $6, Bert.
$6 for everything: food, books,
Food.
tuition, condoms,
Beer.
Don't even use those.
No,
We
this is
don't need
the
This is the
50s or
60s and
60s. We don't
70s.
use those.
Or
those. Maybe
whatever.
the 70s. I don't know.
Those
I
are
don't
for
know.
sailors, Bert.
Yeah. So fuck it, whatever.
Trust me, you're going to be father to a lot of lucky kids.
And Madonna from Michigan? I thought Madonna was British for some reason.
No, you're thinking of Dame Helen Mirren.
Ah, there we go.
Right.
That's the
I
one.
always mix those two up.
I get them
Yeah.
confused.
One's an
constantly.
Excalibur, one's the wasn't Helen Mirren an Excalibur?
I don't know.
I
if
have no
you're-
idea what
where
you're
you
talking
were going
about.
with
That movie, you know what I'm talking about?
She was
No.
once in a mythical sword.
Yeah, I'm not gonna look it up. I know she was in Excalibur.
You know what? I'll take your word for
I will
it.
too.
You guys haven't watched Excalibur? It's really
That's
good.
going to be our next
Is it?
movie episode. I can tell.
Maybe. That
Yeah.
could be great.
Boom.
I fucking love Arthurian legend.
Yeah,
I'm a
me
huge
too.
Arthurian nerd.
That's wonderful.
Beautiful. We should do an episode on
We
that.
should.
You're
You know what?
listening to
Fuck
Arthurcast.
Michigan.
Brought to you by Rockstar Energy. Feel
the
the
sword.
grana.
Feel the sword or whatever. All right. So is that it?
That's
Helen
all
Mirren's
I've
from
got for you
Michigan.
guys. If something else pops up and it's relevant, I'll let you know.
Okay. Perfect.
All right.
Cool.
Well, shall we move on to some
Yeah.
spooky, as Dan sometimes said before he died in that tragic accident. the spooky.
We tried to have him committed to Dr. Kellogg's House of No Masturbation for all the
And
masturbating he does.
I distinctly remember his wife calling us in a panic saying he just can't stop touching
He
himself.
just keeps
Send
doing
him
it.
to the sanitarium.
He needs some bland cornflakes to feel less sexy all the time.
This will make him less virile. Have a bowl of corn flakes.
We'll tamp down that erection with some bland corn cereal. Pour the Vernors on top of it.
No, not Frosted Flakes, boy.
My dear husband, Daniel.
Look how
That was
erect he
me
is from all
talking
the
to
sugar.
Oh God! It would just be like a beige bowl of carbonation, like soggy.
It just melts into a bowl of like bubbly diarrhea.
Yeah.
This is horrible. I got all right. Let's not ever talk
We're
about
gonna
this
go
again.
straight to the stories as long as they're small.
Beautiful.
Oh, perfect.
Well, guess what? I know you were talking about small stories. Our first one today is anything but small, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Because guess who's back, baby?
Eminem.
Nope. Well, I mean, he's always been back again.
He's
But-
from Michigan, isn't he?
He is. He's from Detroit.
8 Mile.
How did we miss that?
Yeah.
I told you it was going to come up if it was relevant. I was
Okay.
going to make a Forgot About Dre reference. And saying, speaking of Dre, Eminem is from.
Oh,
Fuck.
wow.
God damn it.
Dre, also from Michigan, probably.
Maybe.
I don't know.
No, not PhD.
No.
Medical doctor.
Right.
Medical doctor Robert Dre is from Detroit.
Yeah.
So, for anybody speaking of not small, this gentleman is coming back, bitch.
Yeah.
It's Paul motherfucking Bunyan.
Whoa.
America's lumberjackingest, fucking blue ox fuckingest lumberjack folk hero.
If you like jacking it,
Then
Paul
Get a
Bunyan.
bowl of cornflakes.
Paul Bunyan.
That's right.
All right, so what did he do?
We've talked about our boy Paul many times on this show.
Oh, yeah, Mr. Bunyan.
Mr.
At this
Bunyan
point, we're just going to give him
himself.
a producer credit.
Yeah, for real, because he's everywhere apparently in the north.
That's
And if you know us, we love talking about that big blue ox, which is the only thing of comparable size that he could possibly have sex with, being that he is a giant, not resulting in the other party's death.
right.
So that part aside, did you guys know that Paul Bunyan is stated to have actually dug Lake Michigan so that his sexual companion could have somewhere to drink?
What?
Yeah,
No kidding.
that's right.
The Blue Ox?
The big blue ox babe.
Yeah.
That's right. Using Lake Michigan as a trough.
Nice.
That's why it exists. So,
and that's canon.
The other
And
ones, just collateral damage.
right? There we go. They
That's
just got a little too rough
Oh.
rolling around in the plains.
Rolling in the
So,
sex hay.
after digging Lake Michigan, the area became populated with loggers, obviously, because now they've got a place to drink, I guess.
Obviously.
Well, thank God we were going to cut down all these trees, but we had nowhere to drink. Now we got some water.
Yo, great.
Next to Lake Michigan is supposedly a plain area with a forest bordering it, which was ripe for logging.
Right.
And it was reportedly negative 68 degrees cold.
What?
According to folklore historians. And
So close
So, in case you guys didn't know this,
to the sex number.
to this, I know,
Sorry,
you're
go
so
ahead.
close.
Sorry. Yeah.
That is cold enough to freeze fucking fire.
Whoa.
According to the folklore story. So the loggers'
According
lanterns.
to science,
Yeah,
well,
well,
see.
impossible. But in the folklore story, the loggers' lanterns froze in the glass because it was so cold. And it was so frozen that they couldn't blow them out. And not even Paul Bunyan, with his increased giganticism lung capacity, could blow them out.
Wow.
So they got mad that it was now effectively daylight all the time in their camp. And they made Paul haul them off somewhere into the forest where they couldn't see him.
Haul them or the lantern?
The lanterns.
Okay.
So
Paul, take my ass into the woods.
So Paul, not thinking because he's a big
idiot.
ox fucking idiot, leaves them in the forest.
Right.
And when spring comes and they thaw, the fire escapes, setting the forest on fire.
This makes no fucking sense.
Oh, God, the fire thawed.
Oh, no. The fire's
So
thawed.
they make Paul go stomping out with his giant man feet.
Paul, you idiot.
You moron, Paul.
You left that fire to thaw in the woods.
Now what's Smokey the Bear gonna say?
Jesus, Paul.
Jesus Christ.
So Paul goes out and he stomps it out.
Yeah, stomps it out, and
Is that the end
that's
of
the end of it. He stomped the forest into a plain because that's why there's now plains near Lake Michigan.
Oh.
He burned everything of value down and had to stomp it out.
Of course. Naturally.
That story was brought to you by AmericanFolklore.net, America's most trusted .net about American folklore. And if I could please read you the top-rated comment from their anonymous comment board, that was pretty good folklore by Anonymous.
10 out of 10 would agree.
That was pretty good folklore.
Thank you, Anonymous.
Wow.
We thought so, too.
Truly the Siskel and Ebert of this website.
Wow.
2 thumbs, kind of elevated. That was pretty good folklore.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Wow.
Yeah. So what did you guys think about that one?
I love that story.
I will always be into a Paul Bunyan story, so I'm
Me
just
too.
so stoked.
I love every time that our lumberjacking everyman shows up.
One of these days, he's going to hear the show, and he's going to show up, and he's like, let me set the record straight for you.
Come here. Listen to Paul. I don't fuck my ox. And we're like, well, what do you fuck, Paul?
I eat a lot of cornflakes, and I don't have to. My urges are gone.
I've curtailed my sexual urges through
As he
bland
just
cereal.
shovels handful after massive handful of cornflakes in his maw.
Gaping
He just pours bottles of Vernor's down the hatch.
oh, fuck.
It's the milk that makes you Randy.
No dairy.
No dairy, no sugar.
Would you suck from another animal's teat? No. No other animal does that.
All of these would be wonderful slogans for Vernors. Like if Vernors just starts bullying milk specifically. Vernors is
They have to neg their competition to maintain their state beverage status.
not other ginger ale, not other sodas. Vernors is like, fuck it, we're coming for you, milk.
Vernors,
some in your-
it's not milk.
Put some in your fucking coffee. Who cares?
Vernors, who gives a shit? We've been around forever.
Midnight,
Whatever.
what do you care?
Our mascot is a bearded man winking at you.
Vernors. Oh, shit.
Ride
Ethan,
the
what do you
ginger.
have for us? We've got to keep moving.
Okay, sorry.
This train is getting stuck at the station.
Okay,
I'm sorry. Paul Bunyan always derails the train.
here we go. Should I read the next one?
I would love that.
It's about Paul Bunyan fucking his ox.
Oh, no, it's not. Is that another one? Do we have that?
No, I don't think so.
Okay,
Let's
good.
get leaked sex
Right.
tape. Paul Bunyan and Bill?
Let me do should I do the werewolf's bride? Or did you want to do that one?
Whatever one you want to do, I'm fine.
I'm gonna do this one. The Werewolf's Bride by Ethan Watford. I don't know why it sounded like the beginning of an essay. This is a story about an evil woodsman who sold his soul to the devil. Okay, sorry, I'm reading this as I'm speaking, as if you can't tell. Okay, so an evil woodsman sold the soul to the devil, right? So there was a girl engaged to a soldier. So, Brett, did you write this in your notes? Did you write?
I did. I wrote all of it.
Oh, no. I don't want to read one that you wrote because your delivery is much better.
Oh, I don't give a shit.
No, we'll come back to that one. I'm going to do the Ada Witch.
Okay. That's fine.
So spoilers. We'll be coming back to the Werewolf's Bride. Ada Witch.
I ate a witch for breakfast. Goodbye, everybody.
Hi, it's me, Vernor. A lot of ghost hunters get very weird feelings in Finlay Cemetery in Grand Rapids suburb of Ada, Michigan. Thanks to a 19th century rural legend about a cuckolded man slaying his wife.
Fucking cucks at it again.
Those beta cucks, who now allegedly haunts the area. Legend has it the woman who became the white-clad, quote-unquote, witch is buried in the cemetery, around which bored teenagers have gathered at night.
God damn it, you fucking teenagers,
damn-
quit
get
fucking around.
Get out of here, you damn! And they've
Get out of my graveyard. Go eat some fucking cornflakes, you horny bastards.
they've witnessed the scene reenacted in the woods by misty apparitions, or heard the witch's screams, or been touched by invisible hands that absolutely weren't tree branches or ferns. Their hands, okay. Of course, the real woman in that grave died of typhoid, and no credible evidence exists suggesting the murder ever took place, and surely, totally by coincidence, Ada Witch sightings peaked not long after the Blair Witch Project.
Oh.
A 1999 movie bearing a remarkably familiar storyline became a box office smash. That doesn't stop people from experiencing weird feelings or insisting the area is haunted anyway, maybe by something else. A lousy Hollywood screenplay that refuses to die, perhaps.
That lousy Hollywood screenplay is brought to you by UCF students.
Yeah, that's
oh,
right.
shit.
Famed local university of higher education.
Wow. Damn. Well, they did it.
They did it.
Brett, did you also write the Ada Witch?
No, I did not. I just pulled that from a website.
Oh,
because
okay.
AmericanFolklore.net, the premier website for .net folklore.
That was on Michigan Lists.
Wow, MichiganList.org.
Nonprofit.
I've got one more for you. Then we're going to go the witch.
Excellent.
I'm going to talk about the melon heads of Allegan County.
I love that candy.
These 4-foot-tall, bulbous-headed humanoids allegedly lurk in the woods near Holland's Felt Mansion. According to stories told by people, they're what word is that?
Hydrocephalic.
What the hell is hydrocephalic?
If you ask your dad, he would probably describe it as a water-headed kid.
Yeah,
You got water on the brain, boy.
It's a birth defect that it causes the head to be enlarged.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, this story's fucking weird.
So these hydrocephalic children killed and ate the doctor who mistreated them, and they now live in underground tunnels, emerging, never to be photographed, only occasionally emerging.
Yeah, we actually covered them more in depth in either the Connecticut or Ohio episode.
They sounded familiar.
Yeah, that's why I included that one in there, because we've touched on them before.
Yeah, so
I love, it's such a weird thing to be happy about, but I really, really like when the folklore crosses across state
I
lines.
do too.
I always feel like it's a crossover episode where it's like, oh shit, remember
This is
this?
a crossover episode.
Whoa, like in season 3, something from season 1 comes back,
Yep.
and you're like,
nice
whoa.
callback to something else.
Yeah, I love it.
Really glad I paid attention to Ohio, man.
Yeah, wow.
Well, I'm going to go back and listen to it, said none of our listeners.
One
Honest,
and
we don't blame you.
That's fine.
one,
You don't have
they're
to.
one and done. They listen, they go, great, thank
I
you.
memorized this.
Yeah, time to move on. Yeah.
So you want to hear the werewolf's bride
Yes.
now?
We
What
really
is
do.
the?
All right.
Yeah.
So this is a story about an evil woodsman that sold his soul to the devil. So you know this shit's going to be good immediately.
Yeah.
Because the devil's involved. So the story goes, there was a girl that was engaged to a federal soldier. So this probably puts us in Civil War times.
Yeah.
Who caught the eye of an evil woodsman. Perhaps one that sold his soul to the devil. So... yes, in fact, he did. He sold his soul to the goddamn devil.
Aha!
You know it, ladies and gentlemen, to become the greatest supernatural creature of the night other than vampires, which are my personal favorite. A fucking werewolf.
Oh,
That's
Nick,
right.
Give us a wolf thing.
Oh, that was a sad one.
I'm the sad wolf. Rock and roll.
So,
Victor, put it in a guitar.
yeah, hell yeah.
Man,
That's what
listen
we
to
need.
it shred.
Yeah. So his werewolf-fueled toxic masculinity caused him to accost the woman and beg her to elope with him.
It's
which
a compliment.
which she was definitely not into.
Yeah, well, you're ugly anyways, bitch.
She cried for help and was heard by her fiancé, the sexy federal soldier.
Oh, hell yeah.
Who immediately came to her aid and threatened to fuck up the woodsman if he didn't go away.
You got a problem, bro? Bro?
It's just a prank, bro.
It's just a
prank,
prank.
bro. She's into it, bro.
Hey, the lady's done, man.
So so he told him to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
And so the woodsman decided that he would lay low until the night of their wedding, which, guess what? Was on a fucking full moon.
No.
Oh,
But he's a
shit.
werewolf.
Oh,
That's
shit.
right.
You know what
So
that means.
He springs into werewolf action and abducts her in full wolf form, taking her back to his lair, where she refuses to have wolf sex with him, I guess.
Wow.
Is
And
this
so
the premise of Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess?
This,
I
was thinking Phantom of the Opera. This sounds
Ooh,
like
yeah, that is Phantom of the
Wolfman
Opera.
Phantom.
Yeah, kinda. Only in this one, the Wolfman kills her because
Oh.
she won't have sex with
yeah,
him.
just like in Phantom of the
Yeah.
Opera.
Yeah, just like in Phantom.
So he tears out her throat in his werewolf form.
Gross.
And the soldier goes after them and can't find them for several days.
I'm lost.
Eventually, he does find the lair with his fiance's body laid out in a shittily built coffin.
Ooh.
That's actually part of the story.
Oh.
That it was poorly made. I don't know
That's
why.
a wonderful detail.
I don't
Look
know.
at this roughly hewn coffin. That was a very nice werewolf.
Poorly built, uneven.
Like, he tried,
Yeah,
but like, he
janky.
wasn't good.
Yeah, that's why he became a werewolf, I guess.
So the woodsman is there, and he has covered her body in wildflowers, but here he is in human form because it's
okay.
not the fucking full moon.
Right, so his clothes are probably shredded,
Yeah.
right?
So
Hulk style.
the woodsman and the federal soldier have a hand-to-hand knife fight
What?
in the fucking cave.
Come here.
And so they struggle. The federal soldier is injured by the knife and then pulls out his revolver,
Hell
which
yeah.
he's loaded with silver bullets, and just fucking unloads them on the guy.
Nice. See, this is why you don't bring a knife to a
To a
gunfight.
gun.
Exactly.
That's right.
But he was prepared because he started knife.
Yeah.
And then he finished gun.
That's a proper escalation of force.
He was like, "Gosh, shit, that knife hurts." Bang,
So-
bang, bang, bang.
The werewolf man scrambles away, makes it to Lake Michigan, where he dies
We know
in
Lake
the water.
Michigan.
Because that's
Paul
the
Bunyan.
trough of Babe, companion of Paul Bunyan.
The sexual companion.
And you guys are never going to guess what happens here.
He becomes a sea monster.
He is eaten by giant catfish
Oh.
in the most what the fuck moment.
What?
A notable death and very common in Lake Michigan.
Yeah.
Hey, never seen that in any of our stories.
No. That's
So
a first.
the soldier dies of his knife wounds in the werewolf knife fight, and the two lovers are buried together in the blade.
Oh.
So again, this story brought to you by AmericanFolklore.net. Top comment being, "I like the Twilight better because Jacob was a nice werewolf and he was also sexy." Smiley face.
Love it.
Not to mention the part where he imprinted on that infant.
That was so weird.
It's a heartwarming story all around.
It's truly touching.
You can tell a Mormon wrote that, right? They vaguely know of these concepts, and they're like, "Is this weird?"
Nah.
Probably
Nah,
not.
Not at all.
Anyway, publish my shit.
I think it's a good time maybe cut to an ad and come back to some bigger spooky stories.
Yeah.
Nice.
Love it.
Hey guys, this is Brett. If you like what you heard tonight, feel free to go ahead and follow us on any of the podcast app of your choosing, as well as any of your social media platforms of choosing. We're pretty much on everything now. By the way, this is the probably second or third most popular folklore and current day occult and media related podcast out there besides lore. So if you like lore, you'll probably like what we do because we're really professional and really explicit. So yeah, if you like what you heard here, go ahead and seek us out on the internet because we've got more content coming. And welcome back. That was a message from our sponsors, us, your sponsors.
This episode is brought to you by viewers like us.
Listeners
you.
like you.
And
Thank you. This has been Ira Glass.
So, you guys ready for a big spooky story?
I sure as hell am.
Let's dive right in.
Does it have a werewolf getting eaten by catfish?
Close.
Oh, can't wait.
It's about Pressy.
That sounds like Nessie.
It sounds like it
Whoa.
it does sound like Nessie. I was thinking it sounded like an app, like Squarespace.
Yeah.
Like Pressy. Use
Pressy.
Pressy for your
You're spending
news.
too much money on tacos
Yeah.
and coffee.
And it shows hipster folks, and they're like, "Oh my
Oh my
gosh,
God, I had no
what am I
idea.
gonna do with my tacos?" Pressy in Lake Superior, or Gitchigumi, meaning great water or great lake.
Gitchy Goomy.
Gitchigumi.
That's in.
Come on down to the store and get your goomy.
Gitchigumi.
I got tons of goomy here for you.
Gitchigumi.
That's in the Song of Hiawatha,
Oh.
the poem. That's
Oh,
amazing. I didn't expect to see that one.
Yeah, nice. Is a freshwater lake. It is 1,333 feet deep in some places, with an average water temperature of 34 degrees Fahrenheit.
It's just above freezing.
And it's 350 miles long and up to 160 miles wide.
Wow, how spooky geography.
Yeah, and that's it. Thanks for listening, everybody.
How superior.
The lake is almost an inland sea. It is said to house a lake serpent, Cressy, named after the Presque Isle River where one of the best sightings occurred. The native indigenous people called the serpent Mishipishu, and it is seen in pictographs at various shoreline sites either as a spiky cat-like creature or as a serpent. Modern sightings cite a serpent-type creature up to 75 feet long with a horse-like head on a longish neck and a bilobite, whale-type, tail, and described as dark green to black in color. The reported sightings go back centuries, and here is a selection of the most well-known. So before I go on to that, this sounds like Nessie, right?
This is a little bit different than Nessie because
Really?
Nessie doesn't have a whale tail.
Oh,
Nessie has like
right.
the long, like
Like serpentine.
serpentine,
Right.
like brontosaurus style tail.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
But it's definitely creepy sounding.
yeah,
Because that
I'm-
thing's huge sounding.
Right.
75 feet long.
this is pretty big.
I'm just more concerned by the cat-like descriptor, especially since it's clearly not the common one.
Yeah.
But like, what guy saw just a giant, like a saber-toothed tiger, basically in the water, and was like, "Well, look at that serpent monster!"
Yeah,
Serpent monster. Huh.
Yeah.
Man,
Ain't going on that lake no more.
Oh my God! Put down my cornflakes.
I'm going back to jerking off after this one.
can't stop me.
I've got to jerk off
No
now.
amount of bland cereal and ginger ale is gonna keep this one down.
Magic Johnson, turn down that Kid Rock Eminem album and put my cornflakes back in my Vernors.
Give me the Madonna and grab the Vernors.
So,
Was the bullet for Madonna?
No, I enjoy Madonna.
Yeah.
It was for the burners.
I
and
love a nice
cornflakes.
Vernons and Flakes, but man, I hate Material Girl.
That's such a good song.
It really is, though.
so in September 1894, about halfway between Whitefish Point and Copper Harbor, almost said Cooper Harbor, Copper Harbor, Michigan, for those of you with your maps, take a peek. Okay.
Put on your 3D glasses now.
Okay. The crews of two steamers observed a strange creature undulating along in the twilight. Its back protruding.
Undulating in the top.
I couldn't tell if you were laughing at steamer or undulating.
Undulating.
Two Cleveland steamers observed a strange creature undulating along in the twilight. Its back protruding 6 to 8 feet out of the water.
That's fucking huge.
Right? 1 year later, not even a year later, July 1895, 3 members of a steamer crew observed
Nice.
a, quote, hideous creature off Whitefish Point, which seemed at times to be deliberately pacing their ship. They claimed it had a 15-foot neck and a jaw a foot wide. So we're getting pretty weird with this thing.
Hey, Dale, look, your mother-in-law's in the lake.
Hope she stays there. In 1897, near Duluth,
That's Minnesota for those of you playing along at home.
I swear to God, I saw the M-N, and I was like, what the fuck?
Duluth,
MN, Michigan.
Michigan?
Duluth, Minnesota. A Detroit man fell overboard when his yacht struck a rock.
You know what? I'm just going to say it. I'm not sorry. Oh, fuck you, rich yacht
Yeah,
guy.
right?
Right? Fuck this guy.
What do you guys think happens next to him?
He's probably gets his 401k money and he just retires in happiness.
He rolls it over to a Roth IRA to save on taxes.
It's a good idea.
Close. He was attacked by a huge serpent,
Who could have
Oh!
seen it coming?
which he said tried to constrict him in the manner of a large snake. His 3 shipmates also saw the beast.
Holy shit.
So let's fast forward to the 1930s. A serpent swimming along at about 9 miles per hour. I don't know how they knew that. Was
Well, if I had to take a guess with my radar gun here, that guy's swimming about 9 miles an hour.
Is
You know,
that fast?
few knots?
That seems slow.
That seems slow, but I also don't know how fast I swim.
Yeah, I don't. Probably not nearly
Last
that.
time we clocked Ethan swimming at the old swimming hole, it came in about 7.5.
Yeah, for all you Patreon folks, we'll have a nice swimming deep folking.
Haven't we done 2 of those?
A serpent swimming at about 9 miles per hour was observed by 2 fishermen at Pictured Rocks, Munising, Michigan. The animal created a strong wake as it passed the shore. Fast forward another 30 years. In the 1960s, a family watched a huge animal, alternately showing humps and stretching out straight, swim upriver past the north coast of Sugar Island. Neither head nor tail was visible, and they said it resembled a log when stretched out straight.
So it was a log.
It was a big fucking
Big
log,
fucking
right?
log.
Yeah.
Or it was Fergie. Can't really tell.
Right? Yeah.
Look at those humps. That's Fergie. Nope, it's a log.
Wait a
Those
second.
lovely
Log.
serpent lumps.
Love them. So let's fast forward again. Memorial Day weekend, 1977, the year of Star Wars. Jimmy Carter is president. North of Ironwood, hiker Randy Bronze.
That's a good hiker name.
That
He is.
a good hiker name.
He snapped a photo of something which he suspects was a giant serpent swimming in the waters of the lake near the Porcupine Mountains Wilderness State Park.
But it's a state park, so obviously you don't care about that.
No, I don't give
No.
a shit about
He
Porcupine
didn't
Mountains.
Fuck with that shit.
Yeah. Bronze said it undulated in the water like a serpent. There's that word again.
Why do they keep undulating?
Undulating.
It undulated most sexily.
The snapshot he took of the beast, which we'll upload at some point maybe, shows a blurry object in the water.
We won't.
The photo indicates a serpent-like creature with a horse-like head on a long neck and an undefined tail.
Huh.
Yeah.
It almost sounds like a kelpie when they describe
Right?
it with that horse's
That's
head.
what I'm
That's what
thinking.
I keep getting out
Like
of
a
it.
giant kelpie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's super weird.
But
It
kelpies
is.
don't have whale tails, do they?
No, and they're also not that big.
Yeah, they're pretty small.
Yeah.
And have really weirdly silky hair.
Yeah. Which I'd like to comb.
So in 1981, we had 4 children see this serpent rising 1 to 2 feet out of the water. As it came within 20 yards of the private beach, one of the children ran away crying, and the animal headed away showing lower humps.
Don't look
Yeah.
at that, Billy. Look at all those lower humps undulating in the
Creature
water.
showed off its undulating humps to the child, causing it to cry.
So it's pretty terrifying. Here's probably one of the weirder ones. In the middle 1990s, a fisherman watched in horror as a large aquatic animal pulled a wading buck deer under, leaving only its severed head.
Good
Oh
God.
God!
Yeah.
Holy shit!
So instead of seeing like, because most of these have been like, oh, there's something in the water, something in the water. That one is like killing something.
Like a deer is pretty big.
Yeah.
Like,
oh yeah.
I feel like a deer
A
is
buck
like about
deer.
the size of a guy.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So
This is where we learned Brett's never seen a deer before.
no,
I mean, a deer's got to be what, the size of a couple trucks, right?
right.
So, unfortunately, all the photographic evidence is, of course, grainy or blurry, of course.
It's the filters.
Yeah. So, it could be a giant eel, could be a giant water snake. Unfortunately, we don't really know. We can't tell. And people disappear near Presque Isle River occasionally and are never found. It's attributed to the undertow.
Ah,
So, what do you think? Is this thing real or not real?
I don't know.
There's something in that water.
There's something there. Something big.
something big in
Something
that water.
undulating.
It's undulating and it's humpy and it's
It's got a big whale tail. If I had to get,
wearing a thong. What an
Yeah.
old person would call it.
what, I mean, horse like it. What if it's just a big ass like gator? That's
Have you
just
guys seen that
too
movie, The
cool.
Water Horse?
Yes.
Maybe it's that.
Maybe it's the water
Maybe.
horse.
Could be.
What
Could be a Nessie creature.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Sea monsters and lake monsters are always fascinating to me. I usually don't personally buy into them, but they're everywhere in
Yeah.
folklore. Like if there's a big mysterious body of water, you can bet your ass that there's a story about something creepy that lives there.
Victor, just put in the part where we talk about the unknown in the sea.
Yeah, exactly. That whole
There we
episode.
go. Yeah. Boom.
Yeah.
If you want more on that, reference that episode.
Yeah.
Because
But
I
yeah,
went.
there's clearly
speculate.
something going on. Like,
Yeah.
whether it's something massive like a giant water horse or something else going on.
Yeah.
That's a lot of stories. Like even normally when we come up with the ones that we usually say are like mildly credible, we
Right.
don't have this many instances.
Yeah.
And they're all pretty consistent with what they say about
Yeah.
it.
There's something in the water.
Yeah.
It occasionally eats shit.
It's undulating
It
constantly.
It undulates.
Just
very-
a local fraternity or sorority just dumped the girls in the water.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just
And
dump
look,
them in.
oh my God, look at that undulating surf.
Nice.
Oh my God.
Nice.
So that's it. That's
I'm at a solid maybe on this one.
Yeah, I'll give it a hard 5.
I'm gonna give it as far as it being Pressy, this legendary sea monster. I'm like a 2 or 3.
Yeah.
As far as it being a large gator or several gators that have somehow ended up in this lake.
The sturgeon's possible too. I mean, those
Yeah.
things are
Yeah.
pretty big. Like
I'm like a 9
On
because
that?
it's like
Yeah.
there's something in there. I mean,
Yeah.
like Michigan's huge, so
Yeah, and it's not outside the realm of possibility
Yeah.
that a giant fish grew big in
Yeah.
there. Or do, because it's so fucking big. It's basically like a lake, like an inland sea.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
So that's
I'm at a 4
Yeah,
on
4.
Pressy. I'm more like a 9 on an alternative big thing.
yeah.
Yeah. But I'm never like a big guy on the sea monsters, though. So
You know, I can't believe it took this long for me to realize or to learn that you weren't that into.
sea monsters.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
wild. I would think you'd be all about it.
They're not my thing.
Hmm.
Weird spirits,
Yeah.
huge into it.
Right.
Demon stuff, love it.
But
Magic,
aliens, you're
love
not.
it. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Yeah.
Like Native American folklore,
Oh,
love it.
yeah.
Super into it.
Mhm.
But I'm not a big believer in lake monsters and
This
stuff.
one is actually a nice crossover though, because it starts out as very,
Mm-hmm.
Native American folklore
Mhm.
with the Gitchigumi, Mishipishu.
Yeah.
It's a very Iroquois-based story.
Right.
But yeah, it definitely crosses over really hardly into sea monster territory.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Maybe it goes from like protector spirit to like creepy shit that lives there because we're the whites and we don't understand it.
We
Yeah.
lost control of this one. Time
Yeah.
to start over.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
I don't know. It's the sea monsters and lake monsters thing. I mean, we've never had a body, but we've also never had a body of a Sasquatch, and I'm
Yeah,
huge
sure.
into those.
Right.
But I don't know. They just don't do it for me typically.
With lakes, it's also trickier because even though this lake is absolutely gigantic,
Right.
it's trickier because at a certain point, it's like, all right, where's it gonna go? You know, like surely at this,
there.
yeah, and surely at this point,
Where did it come from? Where did it go? Where
That's-
did it come from? Cotton Eye
Cotton Eye
Joe.
Joe.
Finally, you're asking the hard hitting question.
You know, that's just what I want to know.
I do too. I don't know what's up with it.
Yeah.
And then also, this shit's been around since like the 19th century in our records.
Yeah.
So how is it still alive? Follow up question. Do
Yeah.
they reproduce? Is there more than one of them?
Right.
That's really what I think about when it comes to lake monsters.
Just like getting
It's
very
like-
scientific
Like,
about it.
what
yeah.
sort of ecosystem could support this thing?
Right.
Which is baffling to me.
I think that's why with Sasquatch, it's like, okay, yeah,
I
it's-
could buy that.
yeah, it's a big thing in
He's
the
eating
woods.
berries and stuff, whatever.
Yeah,
Fish.
like he's like eating squirrels, fish, berries.
My normal diet, really.
yeah,
Right.
PCT hikers, like whatever.
But like this thing's chowing down on deer.
Maybe that's that
How
part's
much fish
believable.
does it eat? You know,
Maybe I don't
The
know.
thing I don't like about the deer is
What's it doing
okay,
swimming in a lake?
exactly. The deer's got to be at the edge of the lake where it's shallow.
Right.
You know what loves to be in shallow, maybe a couple inches deep water? Giant fucking sea serpents.
Yeah. Oh
Right?
yeah. Wait a second.
How does it get there?
Never mind. Downgrade my 5 to a 2.
That's the part that you're like, no.
Just a giant sea serpent.
Didn't eat that deer. I ate the deer.
You heard it here first, folks. Nick is
Nick.
pressy.
Nick finally announces his
Nick
true self.
Pressy Randy. That's
Oh my god.
So we're all at a meh on Pressy.
yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, Michigan.
Yeah.
Your
More like Michigan.
Oh.
your small stories super cool. Your big guy, meh. Take him or
We've
leave
got
him.
another one in the tank, though.
Yeah.
Let's see what you guys think after this one. Brett,
Okay.
take us home, buddy.
All right. So this one, I'm going to go ahead and just start telling you a little bit about it. And I think that this is just incredibly entertaining. So if you guys Google search anything about Michigan folklore or cryptids, this is like the number one thing that pops up. So in Michigan folklore, the Michigan Dog Man was allegedly witnessed in 1887 in Wexford County, Michigan. The creature is described as a 7-foot-tall, blue-eyed, bipedal canine with the torso of a man and a fearsome howl that sounds like a man screaming.
Okay.
First of all,
I'm going to stop you right there. This guy's a furry, right?
that shit sounds horrifying.
This is just a furry.
Could you imagine
right.
like backwards knee bending legs.
Oh,
with like a man torso and a dog head.
See, I'm just imagining Mr. Peanut Butter from BoJack. It's a 7 foot tall Mr. Peanut Butter.
I'm picturing the monster design from Harry Potter for the werewolf.
Professor Lupin.
Professor
That's
Lupin
exactly what I
bottom.
just thought.
Ooh, yeah.
Then like ripped top, like torso with like a
Jacob
bunch of
pre-werewolf.
yeah, but like 3 pecs.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
To really get those dog nipples on there. And
yeah.
then dog head, which then screams like a guy.
Like a guy.
Oh! Oh yeah! Oh! Coming after you.
Ooh.
Oh, hey!
That's it. That's what the dog man's
Yeah,
doing.
there we go. So, according to legends, the Michigan Dogman appears in 10-year cycles that falls on every year ending in 7.
Thank God it's 2019.
I know we just got away from
Just
this.
skated.
Hey! Hey!
I think I hear him now.
So, sightings have been reported in several locations throughout Michigan, primarily in the lower northwestern quadrant of the lower peninsula. I guess that's your like thumb.
So take your mitten out.
Take your mitten out, folks. That's like your thumb's the lower
Are
peninsula.
we near Detroit?
You're near the I don't fucking know.
I know
Detroit's
Detroit's
upper, I think.
southeast, right?
So,
Who knows? Look for the most polluted part of the water.
So the dog man's somewhere in southern Michigan.
so popular in 1987, the legend of the Michigan Dogman gained popularity when local radio station DJ Steve Cook at WTCM FM recorded a song about the creature and its reported sightings.
Oh, fuck.
You remember when we did the story on that fucking guy named like Ricky Rainbow?
Yeah.
Oh,
The
man.
newscaster?
Yeah.
Who popularized a myth?
Yeah.
We got another one.
Oh,
which
shit.
is Steve Cook.
Tim Cook's older brother.
Right? So the creature was unknown to
Yeah.
the rest of the world until the late 20th century when Steve Cook released his song about the creature. And it's said to have been stalking the area around the Manistee River since the days when the Odawa tribes lived there. So this thing is supposed to have been haunting Michigan for like hundreds of years.
Wow.
And sources for sightings made prior to 1987 haven't been documented beyond Steve's Cook origin song.
Yeah.
So-
Okay.
Okay.
Sure, pal.
Yeah. All right.
So the first
Yeah.
encounter, which was of course in Steve Cook's song
Right.
of the Michigan Dogmen, happened in 1887 in Wexford County when 2 lumberjacks were lumberjacking and saw a creature which they described as having a man's body and a dog's head. Just, hey! You guys
jacking over here?
Quit jacking!
We're just lumberjacking. Please leave us alone.
Try to eat my
I'll
corpse.
jack you up!
No, that's okay. Thanks.
Please don't. I'll
Please
jack
don't.
you up!
No.
No, don't really
do
don't want
that.
that one.
Please don't. Hey.
And then, 1937.
I just love that his human scream is a guy going, "Hey!"
That's what I imagine dogs are saying when they bark.
They are.
Yeah, actually.
Hey. All right. So
1937,
Oh,
Paris,
shit.
Michigan. Again, a year that ends in a 7. Robert
Yes,
Fortney.
Paris, Michigan.
Paris, Michigan.
Robert Fortney was attacked by 5 wild dogs that was being led by one walking on 2 legs.
fuck's sake! What?
Yep, that's right. 5 dogs with one dog man leading
Yeah.
the pack.
Come on.
Come on, get him, guys! Get him! Hey! Get him!
That's how I feel about any time I ever watch Mickey Mouse cartoons and Goofy is taking Pluto for a
Yeah.
while.
Right.
So we're gonna encapsulate it right now. Not only is it a furry, it's a furry in a Goofy costume.
Yeah.
Right, and he fucking sticks
Hey!
his dogs on him.
Attack that fucking guy.
Get that guy!
That explains the howl that sounds like a scream. It's Goofy's normal scream.
Yuck.
It's
Oh God,
That was a really good Goofy.
Thank you.
that was solid.
Yeah. Hey.
Hey!
So he sticks his dog friends
and
on.
attacks the local farmer. which is hilarious by itself.
It is.
And so reports of the creature have happened in Allegan County in 1950s, again, ravaging packs of wild dogs led by a boss dog on two legs with a human torso.
Yeah.
And then in Manistee again and Cross Village in 1967. So it's been compared to the Beast of Bray Road. You
Another
remember that one.
callback.
There we go. We're just crossing all sorts of
That's
borders
right.
here.
We're connecting.
We're at the point in time where we've covered enough shit to where we can start making parallels to our own content.
We could.
We've made it, boys.
We made
We
it,
did
guys.
it.
We did enough of them.
We're deep
We're
enough into
doing
this.
comparison folklore.
Yeah.
Bringing you guys education as well as entertainment.
True research.
True research.
Edutainment.
Edutainment. We're the fucking taniest of EDU right
That's
now.
right.
Fucking NPR over here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fuck you, Ira Glass.
FPR.
How do you like this?
Folklore Public Radio.
Yeah.
That's
Change
right.
the name of the show because that was better from the start.
That's right. That's even your. Oh God, what have we done?
We're not going to think about that. Keep going. So
FPR.
the Beast of Bray Road, huh?
So it's a comparative story to the Beast of Bray Road.
Yeah.
Very similar, only doesn't have dude torso, which is unique to the Michigan story.
Sure,
And
yeah.
it doesn't scream like a dude. Which is, hey, you come here, go get you.
Don't come near me. I know it's you, Randy.
So in 1980s,
Randy Newman?
Randy.
Oh, no, we
me,
don't.
Randy
Short dog
Newman.
people. Nobody. I can't do Randy.
The DJ Steve Cook released his song in '87, which
Great.
is a recorded song titled "The Legend," which he admits he played as an April Fool's Day joke,
Wait a minute.
and based his songs on myths and legends from North America, and had never heard of an actual Michigan dog man when he recorded it. And went on record to saying basically, yeah, I just made all that up for the song because I thought it'd be funny.
Oh, thank you, Steve.
And so he recorded the song with a keyboard just by himself.
This is basically the way, just for a
Drunk.
little look behind the curtain of our show. That's how we do everything with Ethan.
Yep, exactly.
Hand him a keyboard and say, what if you made a song about, like, I don't know, a dog man
Yeah.
that, like, screamed like a man?
Yeah.
Right? So
And go.
after he played his song, he kept getting calls from listeners who swore up and down that they encountered the weird torso dog man.
Yeah.
And in the weeks after he played, it was the most requested song at his station.
Of course. That's how Kesha got her start.
I love this.
He decided to start, because he did it in 1987, he decided to go back and create sightings on years that ended in 7. And he decided to start selling his cassette tapes out of the local FM radio station's lobby
Yeah.
for $4 a pop, donating the proceeds to the ASPCA.
I love that.
That's so nice.
Isn't that great?
That had a really nice turn at the end because usually
Oh.
these stories are like, yeah, he sold the cassettes and he donated the proceeds to the Adolf Hitler Association.
Yeah, the Hitler Youth Program
Yeah.
of Michigan.
For the
Oh,
ace.
good. It's like the
Oh,
Boys and Girls Club.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
he donated it to the pound, basically.
nice.
So, Dogman, noted hoax,
Yeah.
Don't even ca-
or super creepy torso dogman that screams "Hey!"
Hey!
at people.
So it's come out and said that it's a hoax. I give it like an 8.
You know what? I think I'm going to eat as well.
Maybe.
Solid. Could not be more of a 10.
Yeah. I absolutely believe this.
Especially now that I've thought of him as both Goofy and Mr. Peanut Butter. Mr. Goofy Peanut Butter.
Mr. Goofy.
Oh God.
Yeah.
The part of him leading a pack of other dogs.
Yeah.
It makes me think of I Am Legend.
Yeah.
You know, with like that creepy
Whoa.
vampire creature that had a
Mhm.
dog.
Yeah.
And like when Will Smith kills it, then he gets sad.
Yeah.
Like, first of all, how did that creature train that dog other than slapping
No,
it?
that was his dog. That was Will Smith's dog who got turned by the vampire guy thing.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
that's why
what
he
it
cried.
was. Oh, okay.
You know, I watched that movie
A lot.
with my cousin once, and I've never seen it since then.
It's not good.
Oh, no?
It's really not
Okay.
good.
Well,
One
there we
good movie, though, I, Robot with Will Smith.
Fantastic. Rewatched that.
You want to
recently.
know something?
Hmm.
Until this moment, I was mixing up those two movies. It was
iRobot.
It was iRobot.
about robots.
I've never seen I Am Legend, I guess.
I Am
The
Legend is
virus
about
There's a
thing?
dog.
vampires. vampire monsters.
It's like
Yeah.
a virus thing, and
I've-
he's like this lone guy with his dog. Like
It's Omega Man, right? Wasn't it a remake of Omega Man?
No, it's a book that of the
What?
same title, which is an excellent fucking book,
I'll read the
made into a mediocre movie.
I'll just read this. Just like iRobot.
yeah,
Yeah,
Huh.
definitely.
Wow.
Yeah, look at that.
Isaac Asimov strikes again.
So yeah,
I love the Wolfman.
I do too. I'm all in
Or
on the
dog-
fucking
dog
the
man.
dog man because he's
Michigan
not a
dog
wolf.
man.
He's got a dog.
It's clearly a dog.
I like the Wolfman story we did earlier. I don't like this dog boy.
The dog man with the creepy man titties.
Yeah.
Super weird.
The guy
It's
who
just-
looks up from his kibble and goes, "I'm out of food."
Hey, get out of here!
Hey.
I'm gonna get you.
Hey, don't you walk away from me.
I'm talking to you.
Sir, I'm trying to get into my house.
Hey.
Please. No, I'm busy.
I'm gonna get my dogs on you. Hey, you know.
Do you get my subservient dogs on me? I mean, you.
What a weird society that he has created for himself in the fucking wilds of Michigan.
So if you could come up, let's say you just came up with something like the Michigan Dogman. You just make it up.
Catwoman. Done.
It would be is it with a state or a region?
It's the Upper Peninsula dog woman.
Dog woman?
Dog woman.
Dog woman?
Still looks like
No.
a dog's head, but no shirt and screams
Six
obscenities.
boobs. Six boobs.
You thought the 3 from Total Recall was good. Wait till you see the dog.
Oh,
woman.
wind up.
6 boobs.
And it just and it runs like a human.
Yeah. Like a sprinter.
It runs like the fucking Terminator.
That is absolutely terrifying.
Yeah, dog face, like
Yeah.
100% like Rottweiler face.
Ugh.
No, he's a Rottweiler face. She's 10 out of 10 a poodle.
She's a poodle. Oh god,
poodle
they go
face.
right for the
See, I was
crotch.
thinking Basset
Even
Hound.
scarier.
Uh,
I want a big,
I like
drippy
that big
Basset
cheeks.
Hound.
And
what about like a
floppy.
coming
Doberman
to get
Pinscher,
you.
like a really sharp, narrow face?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
she's
like
clearly Swedish or something.
too
Yeah.
small for her shoulders, but then like is like sleek black fur and just
Yeah.
Little bit of
darts
brown.
at you.
All right, there we go.
There we go.
Brad, what would
That's
you pick? Would you also have the Upper Peninsula dog lady?
If I was gonna create my own hoax,
Yeah.
oh man, I like these like weird chimera monsters.
Yeah.
So I think I'd have to make my own. Let's
yeah.
see. I'm gonna go with like we've done frogmen, we've done vampires,
Right.
we've done
Done
Actually,
Moth-
while you're thinking about it, I really like the idea of one in a really improbable location, like Arizona.
the Arizona
would have
sea
some
monster.
sort of sea monster.
Arizona Gator Man or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or the Gator dog. It's a dog that looks like a gator.
It's like a dog with an alligator tail.
you know, the human aspect.
When
is
you
what makes
chimera the human onto it
Yeah.
and you make them nude, that's
Yeah.
scary. like a minute. Like
I've often thought about that. If someone were to break into my house, the last thing they'd
What
want
would
to
they
see.
think about me as a chimera
I'm
monster?
just a bit, this big, hairy, naked Sasquatch man.
you put a bull's head on you and you're like
I'd
full on
right
dick
by the
flopping out chasing them.
You know,
Like,
Remember
the
the Flintstones when they put on their bowling hats? The big fuzzy things with the horns.
Yeah.
That's what I imagine. Ethan wearing that, but completely nude.
completely
otherwise.
nude.
but
I'm
he has a vest on.
yeah.
That's just his chest hair.
And I'm like, what are you doing in my house? That's,
Oh, sorry.
I'm gonna
Jesus
get you.
Christ, What are you?
That's horrifying.
that would be my hoax that I'd come up with. It'd be me naked. Wearing a
Minotaur head.
Flintstones
The
bull
Flintstones water buffalo hat.
water buffalo head with a vest.
Yeah.
That upon closer inspection, it's just my chest hair that I've made into a vest.
What are we gonna call you?
The water buffalo chest hair naked man.
I like the idea. I know you're
Love
not
it.
from Wauchula because that's Brett's game, but
Yeah.
I like the idea of the Wauchula water buffalo.
Yes.
Love it.
There we go.
Yeah,
The
there you go.
Wauchula water
The
buffalo.
Wauchula
You
water
heard it here
buffalo.
first. This is real.
That's
Yeah.
real. We got our first
That's
sighting.
real.
It happens every year on a year that ends in a 9.
Oh,
This one.
Oh no.
Wait till Halloween, bitches.
Wait till and every time it happens on a 69.
It's
Nice.
it gets horny.
There's always a certain level there, but at 69.
There you go.
Well, that's it.
There
All
we
right,
go,
everybody.
folks. That's all she wrote about Michigan.
Thanks for listening to another episode of Go Folk Yourself. We're on all kinds of social media channels, so definitely feel free to engage with us on there. We're on Twitter, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram trying to post, less shirtless pics of Brett on the the beach and more about creepy folky stuff, but hey, whatever you want, it's on there. We also have a Patreon channel, or a Patreon website. I don't know what you call it. Doesn't matter. Either way, you can find us on there. And depending on how much you want to choose to support the show, we have things like an exclusive Discord server and even cool perks like buttons, stickers, and eventually even t-shirts. I don't know. Dan makes up all that stuff. Anyways, feel free to follow us on there, and not to mention just your podcast app of choice. That's obviously the easiest way to make sure you never miss an episode. Thank you.